last word is me.
Can you believe that, man?
The last word.
Yeah, that's right. You got it. Last word.
Has fun. Welcome back to another edition of The Last Word. We've got another great show for you. Well, we're talking the week 6 of the NFL season, and we got a couple of surprises. There's no longer any undefeated teams. There's only, oh, how the mighty have fallen. That's what it is now. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And I have to admit that San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, couldn't get it done. And it's unfortunate. I'll give you your minute to gloat, so I'll take it away.
No gloating, but I'm glad you did pass the mic because accountability. All right?
Well,
and again, the San Francisco 49ers, yeah, it was unfortunate. They lost as well. They lost their two most explosive offensive players, and Debo and
McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm. So
what about
it's understandable.
Trent Williams?
It's understandable. Yeah, they had
they went down. They went down.
Key guys, but again, football next man up. No other sport is that more understood than in football.
All
right.
I can respect that.
This is literally how
I can respect that.
Certain players make their names and get paid by stepping up in these games and these opportunities. But I do have to ask if there's anything you want to recant at this point.
Well,
maybe think over, maybe have spoken a little too early, or perhaps not truly understood the question at the time. Because I did pose to you not very long ago, and you can roll the clips. Top quarterbacks in the league. And you cursed and you dissed and you pissed on everything I said as I went down the list, and I simply stated that there's better quarterbacks. Purdy is in a great situation, surrounded by a great cast. And unfortunately as we saw, when that cast was not at full capacity, he was unable to come through. Yes, the kicker missed the kick to win the game potentially, but any football player will tell you, never leave it in the hands of the kicker. Real football players, more times than not, do not even consider kickers football players, right? So for the second best quarterback in the league, according to you, right? Correct?
You're going on. Is there a question in all this?
No, this is a soliloquy, all right?
Okay, go on.
This is me just simply reminding you that sometimes you got to take a deep breath and allow reality to sink in. That sometimes situations do not mean that you are that guy. I'll give it back to you.
Okay. Now, I will have to swallow that because, yes, they did lose. The 49ers took the L.
And
they
Purdy
lost.
played a very poor game.
So, and I'll give you that.
And give credit to Cleveland's defense, because Cleveland's defense is clearly one of the top defenses in the league.
Cleveland's defense is going down in history. They're playing. Whoa. No, hold on a second.
Okay.
Through the first 6 games of the seasons, their team has allowed third most points in NFL history.
Third least points?
Yes, third least amount of points. They've allowed the third least amount of points through 6 games in NFL history. So I would like to tell you something, sir. Mm-hmm. Brock Purdy went against an historic defense. Yes. Okay? So I was looking for a few things. And I measure greatness with greatness. And the greatness that I'm measuring it with, because I'm a big fan of TB12, because that is the greatest. Okay. Let that be known. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to see something, if there were some similarities in Brock Purdy's game that I could take from TB12's perfection.
Disrespect.
And, hold on a second. Continue. If I gave you a whole, you took like a month.
I'm sorry.
On that soliloquy that you just said there. Now, if I can just take half a second just to finish my point, I greatly appreciate it. Right. So, in the fourth quarter, when it really counted, what did Brock Purdy do? Brock, we need you to take this ball, drive it down the field and give us an opportunity to win. Brock has not been playing well all game.
Yeah.
Right?
What did he have?
But he studied.
Less than 100 yards to that point? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you finished? Or?
I'm just filling in the blanks. All
So
right.
he studied where he failed, and he studied where he was making the mistakes, and he analyzed the field. And he said to myself, okay, you know what? I think I can make a few throws and give our team a chance. Just what the coach is drawing up. Mm-hmm. And he did exactly what the coach did. He became Tom Brady. They found themselves deep in on their side of the field, and Brock Purdy put on a showcase in the fourth quarter, and he took that ball, I believe 43 yards, down to where the punter, where you said, which is not a real football player, but you know what? The 49ers are not like that. They like to think they're a family. Everyone's together. So the punter is actually a football player, and it is a team sport. And Brock did what he was asked to do. He put them in a position to win. Now, it's not your turn. It is not your turn.
I just have to quickly say, but one difference, Tom Brady wins the game. Tom Brady wins. Tom Brady's a winner. And yes, this is Brock Purdy's first loss in the regular season. I get it.
So he has.
Let's calm down on the Tom Brady comparison.
I didn't compare him. I said you compare greatness with greatness, right? So I'm saying Brock Purdy, what he's doing is great. You could agree to that. You've also admitted what he's done is great. 10-1 now. Hey, we'll take that.
The team is great. Yes.
Okay. Oh, and the team is run by a greater leader.
And this team is only missing a quarterback to lead them to a championship. So we will see if
at the end of the day,
he is truly great.
He put the team in a position to win, and that's all you could do or ask of your quarterback. So Brock Purdy, hats off to you, and anchors away to you, because we want to talk. Yeah, they're not.
Are you done?
Well, I think
because you've packaged up all this nice and sweetness and all these fragrances to cover up the odor. The odor of not answering the question. Is Brock Purdy still the second best quarterback in your opinion? I just want to know now. So
well,
we
hold on
can
a second.
Forever put this away.
Okay.
I won't have to ask you again.
Okay. Right now?
I asked you a simple question. You answered it very strongly the other day. It looks like you're not standing on all 10.
I'm allowing you to finish your question because it seems.
I asked the question before. Now I'm gonna have to. I'm just reiterating.
So if you're asking the question,
is Brock Purdy, in your opinion, because your opinion was fairly strong the other day, Brock Purdy's better than Lamar Jackson. Brock Purdy's better than Justin Herbert. Brock Purdy's better than Justin Allen. Brock Purdy's better than...
Okay.
And you paused and had like a 10-second thought whether he was better than Mahomes. So I will humbly ask you again, sir.
Wow.
Is Brock Purdy still on your Mount Everest of greatest quarterbacks of all time?
Right now, first of all, I didn't say of all time. I said in the NFL, right now as we speak, I'm putting Brock Purdy, number 2, right behind Patrick Mahomes. And you don't have to say nothing more. Yes, I'm saying with confidence. And yes, you don't have to ask me no
Don't look
more.
at me. Look at the camera and let the people hear you.
Brock Purdy is number 2. Patrick Mahomes, number 1. A loss, guess what? Just a bump in the road. He'll get over it. They'll learn from their mistakes. And guess what? He lost all his weapons on offense, and he was still able to drive the ball in the fourth quarter. So guess what? He hasn't learned how to pretty much operate on the field with no talent, quite like Tom Brady has, because when he lost his talent, he kind of struggled a bit. So Brock, we appreciate the growing pains, and we expect better next week because you are the 49ers. So, yes, you are number 2.
I'm just confirming that this is not AI, all right? So, later on when we roll this back, I was literally here. I'm not AI. He's not AI, so there will be no excuses for that
no excuses.
bold statement.
That was a bold statement, and there's no excuses. Now let's move on to the next undefeated team last week, but is no longer undefeated this week. Your pick, Philadelphia Eagles, goes down to
My
Zach
pick?
Wilson and the New York Jets. What say ye? How did the Philadelphia Eagles lose to the New York Jets? Is that even possible?
It is possible.
It did happen.
We saw it happen, right?
How did it happen?
How did it happen? The Jets, like the Cleveland Browns, have one of the best defenses in the league.
Absolutely.
Right? When they are literally able to, and they did it without Sauce. They did it without another defensive back without. So they had one of their best defensive players missing, and were able to put in that kind of defensive effort. Well, I need to just hold on a second here before I say this.
Oh, wow. What are you going to say?
Zach Wilson, who we previously mocked, and we had an over.
I didn't know my name was in there.
You were here with me when we had the over under 1.5 more starts for
All
Zach
right, I
Wilson.
admit, I was there. I was there.
We
All
were
right,
here.
cool. That's right.
He has found his way to become a semi-game manager, a de facto Trent Dilfer type.
I'll accept that.
Not to that level, but
I'll take that.
But he is slowly getting into his mind that I'm not this franchise quarterback. I'm a guy who's tasked to just not
Screw things up.
Not screw things up. Keep the turnovers down, and just allow for field position and the team strength, which is their defense, to guide this team to 3-3 now. I have to say kudos to Zach Wilson, because honestly, I didn't know if he had this in him to understand that he's not that guy. He's not the guy who's gonna have free reins to chuck it all around and take those big heaves that I know he probably wants to. He's not the athlete. He's not a great enough athlete to really be a runner scrambler and play like he did in BYU. And whether it's the coaching staff that's drilled it into his head that this is what we need for you, and he is slowly coming along. Again, his performance is not.
I was about to say, what has he done on the field that was you're giving him so much praise?
No touchdowns last night. Wilson made a heck of catches out there.
Throws, you mean?
Not that Wilson. I mean Garrett Wilson, the receiver. He made a few excellent catches last night, or yesterday, I should say. He may be able to hold ship, and the potential of Aaron
the
Rodgers
Bills,
coming
the Dolphins
back to take the potential of this team to the next level if they're battling for the playoffs. And the next, they got some wins on their schedule.
Just because you saw Aaron Rodgers on
wins.
the sidelines throwing the toss in the ball,
Yeah,
you really have high hopes for him to come back this season.
Hey,
I can't
there's
see
some
it
extra
happening.
motivation when your team is still sticking around.